Oh my God, a brand new intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to THS Wrestling. Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, YouTube.com/that#show TV, Instagram.com/THS.wrestling, and Twitch.tv/that#show. Guys, hope everyone had a great weekend. We got a lot to talk about, and we're going to get to it in a moment here. Ken, what's going on? Neeson, how you doing, my friend?
Doing great. Life is amazing. SASHA still champ, and all is well in Springfield.
All is well. All is well in Springfield. Indeed. Guys, before we get started here, as always, I don't know about you, a little hard getting up this morning. Death Wish Coffee can help you out with that. Damn you, daylight savings time. Deathwishcoffee.com. Use the promo code #show at checkout, and you can get yourself some coffee. And this maybe, and I don't know if you'll have as cool a mug as I do, but it's pretty good. I got it. It's my Muppets. It's my Muppets mug.
Oh, Muppets.
Speaking of Camilla in the lap. She is out of frame, but I guarantee you she is sitting right here.
I just want to say for the viewers that are watching at home, and by far, you have a fantastic chair. By the way, it was my first time seeing it.
Well, it's a brand new
chair.
Thank you. It's a brand new chair. I just picked it up a couple of days ago. Just last time switching times for me. Neeson, Jimmy's asking to be tagged in. I'm sending him the link. I'm doing it.
All right. We're just in the middle of it, It's
hard. We're doing it live.
Doing it live, guys.
Matthew, what's going on? Ken, what's going on? Mike, my good friend Mike, doing it live. Man,
all right, guys, we're doing it live. Yeah, we're pausing the show.
Oh my goodness, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about AEW. We're going to talk about NXT. I watched some SmackDown this week. I watched some SmackDown. Yeah, I watched some SmackDown this week. Just the number one show in all of professional wrestling.
That's my face. That's my face right there. That's my face.
Jimmy, this is apparently the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life is to send you a message
in the middle of a show
with where's your freaking name? All right, Jimmy. I don't know if there you go. Thank you. Jimmy knows what's up. He messages me on a separate format. We're tagging you in here, Jimmy. All right, we're going to start the show, and we'll tag him in when he gets here. We're going to talk about WWE to start things off here. And my question to you, Neeson, is on SmackDown, the number one show. There he is. Green. Look at this. Let's tag him in right now. Let's bring Jimmy in. Greenback. Look at this. We're just doing great background stuff.
Well, I figured usually when he does blue, when he does red, I figured I'd go green.
Well,
I love it. This is great. This is good stuff. Jimmy, how you doing, man?
Doing all right. It's been a weird week of wrestling.
It has, and we're going to talk about all of it. We're going to start off with Daniel Bryan and Edge talking in the ring. Basically, mutual respect. I like the little promo between the two of them. Mutual respect. Edge goes, I don't like the way you went about this, though. So you and I have a little problem here. Daniel Bryan also saying this could be his last WrestleMania, which is another like a little head turny statement there. And it wouldn't be a big match if we didn't have a contract signing. So we had the contract signing between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. And once again, Roman Reigns.
Scrap Daddy. Okay, Roman.
And Scrap Daddy. Listen, I'm waiting for Scrap Daddy to just be like, I've had enough of this. Just put somebody in an armbar, make them tap out. I'm waiting for it. But Roman says, you know what? 2 weeks ago, I was feeling this. I'm not feeling it this week. And I love it. Roman just on top of his game. Daniel Bryan gets him to sign the contract by disrespecting him. And next week, I think for the first time in over, did they say a decade, we're going to see Edge versus Jey Uso to determine who is going to be the special enforcer in the match between Daniel Bryan and Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns at Fastlane. And my question to you guys is, this really feels like Daniel Bryan is going to be in one of the main events at WrestleMania. What do you think about him being a possible third man in this match? Jimmy, we'll start with you.
I don't know if we can. Do you think that tarnishes it too much, though, as far as like an Edge in a WrestleMania main event type of thing, or?
My opinion, I think the story they're building is very interesting. Where Daniel Bryan is saying that this is possibly his last WrestleMania. This could also be a way, if you don't want Roman to eat a pinfall anytime soon, but you want to get the big like, oh my God factor with either Daniel Bryan or Edge winning by pinning either one of those people. I think you could do that. I think it's interesting. I don't know if it takes the shine off of it, because I mean, are we going to get an Edge Daniel Bryan match? I don't know before then and now, but I think I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that this, whatever they're leading to between Daniel Bryan and Edge, it isn't on like a throwaway SmackDown. Like, it needs to be on a bigger stage. I don't know. Like, honestly, like, I feel like wherever they go with the direction of this match, like, it's a win-win situation. Just because you look at the people who are involved, you're looking at Roman's best work in a very long time. You're looking at Edge. For as long as he was gone, this is still part of the comeback tour. And with Daniel Bryan, if this is his last hurrah, I mean, I feel like him putting someone else over at WrestleMania, and regardless of who it is a tremendous, like, sign of respect on his part.
Neeson?
I don't think they should do it. I don't think it should be a triple threat. I think Daniel Bryan has been speaking this over a year, pretty much, not even over a year, within this year, about this is his last hurrah. This is his last go out. We know his contract is ending. He said it on Talking Smack months ago that his contract is coming to an end. He has more days behind him than he has in front of him. And it's been highly rumored that he's moving more and more towards a part-time performer. And I think we're starting to see the same thing that we've seen Cena do. Cena just didn't close out he didn't walk away headlining a WrestleMania.
Right.
And I think that's what we're going to start seeing with Daniel Bryan. He's not going to headline a WrestleMania, but it is a way to get fans intrigued, because we all want that one more time. We want that WrestleMania 30 one more time. So Daniel Bryan now is just the Christian of Edge.
What Paul Heyman said that, right? He's just a bad Christian.
I didn't know if anybody else seen Talking Smack. Sorry, I know if anybody else seen Talking Smack, but when he said that, I was just like, oh wow, like they really just let him go, just let him go. They let Paul Heyman do whatever Paul Heyman does on Talking Smack, and I love it.
So if Daniel Bryan is not, if we're going the way that he is not going to be added to this WrestleMania match, what does he do for WrestleMania? And I don't know if you saw me do my patented thinking off into the sun here. I'm getting a little ahead of ourselves because we're going to talk about this in a little bit. Pete Dunne has stated that he's the best technical wrestler in the world, and he dares someone to try him. And how cool would it be to have an NXT run of Daniel Bryan? I mean, he could be super part-time there. I think that would be cool. I think they need a shot in the arm. I think him versus Pete Dunne would be amazing. I think him versus literally everyone on that roster. Him versus Shotzi Blackheart. Let's do it. I don't care. Let's go.
Okay. So I knew exactly, which minute you said Pete Dunne, I knew exactly where you're going with Daniel Bryan and that best technical wrestler in the world. One, sign me up for a Daniel Bryan versus Finn Balor. Sign me up for a Daniel Bryan versus Pete Dunne. Sign me up for a Daniel Bryan versus Adam Cole. He could run through that whole line, and he could be the Edge of NXT what Edge is to SmackDown, right? Like we're gonna see Edge go against Jey Uso, we're gonna see him go against Daniel Bryan, we're gonna see him go against Roman Reigns, we're gonna see him go against Seth Rollins, we're gonna see him go against possibly Big E. Like we're gonna see him go against these people, and it's gonna be great because he's gonna make them all look great over the next year or 2 years or so. Daniel Bryan could do that in NXT, and guys, that it will be 5-star banger matches that people will actually watch. Like, because it's not like NXT doesn't put on banger matches now.
Right.
It's just that unfortunately nobody's watching them because they don't have anything hot going on.
You can almost see this as like an NXT redemption in a way with him, being that he was in season 1 of NXT, and you could trace it as far back as that. Make it like
OG NXT.
OG NXT, and he's won pretty much most of the titles in WWE. Why not go for either the North American or the NXT Championship?
Yeah, the only title he hasn't won was
Gargano.
Him and Gargano. Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm with it.
Stop.
WWE.
The only other title he hasn't won is the Cruiserweight title, which I think he'd still be eligible for, but
he would be. I feel.
Yeah, guys, he's 206 pounds. He can't do it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay, let's move on to something else interesting that happened on SmackDown. Tamina pinned Bianca Belair. It was a tag team match. Tamina and Natty, in matching gear, mind you, defeated Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. And I believe this was a #1 contendership match for the women's. All right, come on in. If you're coming in. I'm gonna say like
Tamina's ring gear.
Oh wow, yes, very much so. People might be surprised by this, but I don't mind Tamina pinning Bianca Belair.
You should.
Bianca Belair is still getting her title shot. She's still gonna have a WrestleMania moment. And listen, if you need to build up a team that's gonna take on oh my goodness, what are they called? The Violent Giants. They're not the Violent Giants. I know everyone in the chat, but that's a different tag team. They're going to take on Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. I think this is good. And I mean, what were Tamina and Natty doing before this? Literally nothing. So I think that overall this is good. And I think it also takes away why do we have another set of women's titles if you don't even care about the original ones? This shows that they're at least trying something new, and I have a feeling that they're going to defend those titles at. That's a good question, Matthew. Who would be the heel and face team? The fuck if I know.
Neither and both.
Neither and both. I mean, obviously, we have the dissension between Nia and Shayna now,
especially with Reginald.
With Reginald in the fold, so I think, yeah, that's probably going to be the end of that tag team. What did you guys think about this? It was a big issue on the internet. People were losing their minds that Tamina had pinned Bianca Belair. What do we think, Neeson?
Look, she didn't pin the boss, the blueprint, the standard, the GOAT, the queen of the cell, Sasha effing Banks. So I didn't mind, but I also think it's dope because if somebody does, like Tamina's been around for, and I don't believe in deserves, but she's definitely earned a spot on the WrestleMania card this year, being that it's 2 nights, right? So maybe they have a women's tag team, multi-tag team match for the tag team titles or something, and it's making them look strong. And no matter, I know people feel their ways about Tamina, but she's been around for a very long time and put in work. So to see her and Natty get that win and to make them look strong, and it also causes dissension in between Sasha and Bianca going into their tag team title matches, it leaves me as a wrestling fan feeling what we all want to feel. We don't know what's going to happen, and that's great. That's great.
Yeah, Jimmy, how do you feel about this?
I mean, I see no problem with it whatsoever. You need to build up something between Bianca and Sasha, and I don't know how Reginald is involved in it in some way, shape, or form, but he is. So for Bianca to get rolled up so easily because she was distracted, I don't think takes anything away from her. And so what you guys said about like Tamina and Natty, like the only thing they were doing before this was they were kind of involved in the whole Billie Kay angle with the Riot Squad. So they had nothing else. This is a great way to at least put another tag team in the mix. And, you know, finally we haven't seen this type of match like, you know, with Natty and Tamina versus Shayna and Nia. We haven't seen that yet. We've seen pretty much every other combination.
Right.
Let's just give this one a go. We know it's for Fastlane and not Mania, so I say no harm, no foul.
Fair enough. I mean, and yeah, we are always like, we've seen this match a million times. I see a lot of, I guess I'll call them beat writers for wrestling that are like, wow, another one of this match. We haven't seen this match in 7 minutes. So, I mean, it's a fresh match. I think it'll be interesting to see what they do with the tag titles going forward. I feel like Natty and Tamina, it would give them something to do, and it would split up Shayna and Nia, and hopefully they'll give them something. And there we go. Dissension in the ranks. We're all mad. We're all big mad at each other.
Like she said, you need to get him together.
Don't get rolled up, Bianca. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Don't get rolled up. Don't get distracted. All right, let's move on to another pair of women's tag team championships. NXT, after the shenanigans the week before, William Regal said, fuck it, we got our own. Here they are. You guys are the champions. This was very Eric Bischoff handing Triple H the titles. And then they promptly lost the titles later that evening to Ember Moon and I almost called her Shayna Baszler. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. First of all, I want to know what are your guys' feelings? We heard rumbles about this. I guess what are your feelings about there being NXT Women Tag Team titles? What are your thoughts about them being handed to someone? And then what are your thoughts of them literally changing hands the same night? 3-part question.
All right. Okay. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love all of it. I love the fact that these women now have their own tag team titles, which they will get represented in the correct manner because NXT knows how to book tag teams when they actually have them. So now that they have women tag teams, I think that this gives more women opportunity with the class of women that they have, and they just keep signing them. So now they can pair them up and develop tag teams for them and get these women on television. That's one thing. I love it. Second, I love the fact that Dakota and Raquel Gonzalez got them first. Like, they deserve that. They won the Dusty Cup Classic. They went through everybody. They have been a powerhouse team throughout this whole run through the pandemic and etc. And as we all said on the end of the year show, Raquel Gonzalez is going to be a champion by the end of the year. Right?
That was my prediction.
Exactly. That was the prediction. You got it. she was a champion.
Oh yeah, true.
So I love that. And only 3 months in. And then I love the fact that Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart won the titles at the end, because you know why? Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart are the tag team that's going to be able to wrestle with all these other people and make them look great. Like, it's going to be, they're going to put on bangers after bangers after bangers. It's going to allow Shotzi and Ember, they're a real tag team. So they have the tank riding out on the tanks. They're showy. It's going to be big. Like, I love it. I love every decision that was made during this process. And I can't wait, honestly, to see Raquel and Dakota. I want to see them on Raw or SmackDown. I think that'll be the place where they should go to allow even more room for the new class of women that are in NXT.
Jimmy?
First off, I think having these tag team titles is really good because, number one, when I saw they were being introduced, that basically tells me, the first thing that tells me is that they don't have time to try to book the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions into NXT, except for literally twice, maybe 3 times. So this basically tells me that they can't figure that out. So let NXT have its own women's tag team champions, and they can run their own programs instead of trying to wait for the main roster women's champs to come down. As far as handing off the titles, I don't see it as a Triple H Triple H way. Like Neeson said, they won the Dusty Classic. I feel like that actually means something. It's similar to how Asuka was awarded the Raw Women's Championship when she won Money in the Bank.
Yes.
I see it as pretty much the same thing. And as far as Shotzi and Ember winning, I was glad for it because it wasn't a hot shot of the title. It was just something unexpected because we were so involved in the introduction of the titles. We didn't even think that they would even change hands that quickly. But I think that also goes to show you how much faith they have in Dakota and Raquel and not them doing their own thing without the titles.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoy it. I think the only thing I don't enjoy is this further drives home the point that NXT is not the third brand.
Facts.
Yeah, that's the only
thing.
But it could. Honestly, I know we say it's not the third brand, but it really is the third brand. It's just not. It's its
linear
own brand.
Yeah, it's
its own. Like it's literally like it's not a part of the Hawaiian Islands. It's like,
right.
It's way off. It's Catalina, but it's still in the Pacific.
Make NXT UK.
Yeah, exactly. But I think NXT UK is in the same line, in the same ocean as NXT, because as we're gonna see and as we're gonna talk about, NXT Takeover this year is a 2-night event, and that 2-night event is not just for NXT talent. That's for NXT UK talent.
I didn't even think about that.
Well, I mean, we'll get to it in a minute here, but let me tell you, I've been hard on Finn Balor. But what took you so long? Oh, there's the paw. Camilla's trying to get up here. The what took you so long? Pan over to angry dad carrying cross was great. This is great stuff. So this is the road we're going towards, and I'm excited. I think this is different. This is new. I think Finn and Karrion can have a really good match at a takeover. Now, I guess my question to you guys is, like we said, NXT Takeover is 2 nights, which my gut or my quick reaction to that is why they have nothing going on. They have nothing going on for 2 full nights. Let me rephrase that. They can definitely fill out a card and I'll watch it and love it. But 2 nights, pretty ambitious. Obviously Cross and Finn is going to happen. Former Metallica bassist Kyle O'Reilly is going to take on Adam Cole. Dude, I died.
The jean jacket cut off.
I died. I was like, "Where's your bass guitar, Newstead? What's going on, buddy?"
Hey.
I saw it as the Triple H MSG return.
That's good too. Trips was like, "Yeah, that's great. I love it."
Gotta love it. Best over.
So you mentioned NXT UK stars. I've seen some predictions of some cards. I think this is actually going to be really cool if they include UK talent. But I guess my question to you is, do we stack night 1 with Cross, Finn, Kyle O'Reilly, Cole, and then the next night we do like a Wrestle Kingdom thing and then have the winners of both matches face off for the NXT championship?
That will be a great idea. But that's also because you're a very smart man and you watch a lot of Japanese wrestling. But I don't think that's going to happen because they just don't like tournaments. So when it comes to something like that, I think they're going to have the women. I think, honestly, it's going to be Io Shirai, Raquel Gonzalez somehow headlining night 1, Finn and Karrion Kross headlining night 2. And then fill out the cards accordingly. I think it'll be 2 premier matches on each card. And then you have, Johnny Gargano somewhere in there.
With oh my god, Dexter Lumis probably.
Dexter Lumis, yeah. So it's gonna be like they definitely you have Walter over there. I honestly think Karrion Kross. This is my prediction. I don't know if it probably won't happen, but this is what I want to happen. I want Finn Balor to retain the title because Karrion Kross, he goes and hits his finisher on Finn. He gets up, and Randy Orton out of nowhere comes and gives him an RKO.
Makes him famous.
He makes him famous. And on Monday after Mania, who shows up to Raw? It's Karrion Kross. And he gives Orton his finisher. That's what I want.
I think love that so much.
I think that'd be great. I think that's where that guy needs to be. He doesn't need to be in the land of the indie stars in NXT. Go to Raw, SmackDown, where they will make you a star and have Daniel Bryan or somebody come to NXT.
Now, Ken in chat, Jimmy just said, do they do Finn Walter night 1 and then Finn Cross night 2? How do you feel about that?
I mean, the funny thing is, Finn and Walter was like the match that, you know,
they were going to do in Ireland
that we've been waiting for, but we never got it because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I can see that happening if this is going to be a co-branded NXT and NXT UK show. I can also see them holding off until, you know, things open up in the world a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you can get Finn over in the UK for that match, which is what they were aiming for to begin with, you know, last year. But I wouldn't object to it. I just feel like if you were to do that, you have to give Cross a match just as equal.
Yeah.
So maybe you have like Cross versus 2 or 3 members of Imperium.
I think. Well, I don't want. No, you don't weaken.
No,
those
I don't
guys.
want to see anyone in Imperium get killed either. But like, that's the only thing that would make sense as far as like equality, as far as like the whole WrestleMania 10 thing with who should you face while I face this person.
Yes. Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like they would save Finn Walter for something else, something in the UK, because I feel like weren't we headed that way at one point?
Yeah.
And then then the pandemic happened, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be the next NXT UK takeover.
Yes.
Happened, but then the pandemic happened.
Yes. Also, guys, 2 days from now is the first quarantine show we did. Just letting you know that if you want to know where we were in the year.
Yeah, well, the 15th was the day LA shut down.
Yeah,
was the 15th. So
16th we did our first show like this in our Brady Bunch boxes.
We're in the end game now, guys.
We're in the end game now. Camilla, get it together. We're talking about wrestling here, but let's move on, guys. We got to talk about AEW. Got to talk. A lot happened in AEW. So we had the big explanation about what happened with the exploding barbed wire death match, what happened with the explosions at the end, what was all of that about. And I thought, in my opinion, Eddie Kingston, I got his name in lights.
Brilliant.
Perfect.
Absolutely brilliant.
Perfect explanation.
Like you look at him and he tells you that and you believe it.
Yes. And I loved it because he's like, look, I basically, the anticipation of what was going to happen, he passed out. I get it. I get that is Eddie Kingston is a real dude, and that's a real explanation to me. And I think, in my opinion, it should have just ended there, because we got in the explanation. Kenny gets in the ring, and I liked most of it, but then when he basically was like, "You and Moxley looked gay," that was a little like.
Especially when he told
the 69. Hey, 69 me 69.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on?
I mean, yeah, I didn't.
You okay?
I don't know. I didn't really. Just need some love.
Ow.
Need some love. I love the fact like Eddie Kingston and then you got Weekend at Bernie's over there, John Moxley. It was great. That segment really, like, I love Eddie Kingston, man. Like, he could talk his way out of a ticket, I'm sure, or he could talk his way out of a fight, or he could just beat somebody's ass, and it's all believable. And he did. I didn't need an extra explanation by Don Callis Didn't need it. Didn't want it. Didn't need it. Wasn't even needed. But to follow that, and I know we're gonna talk about to let Jimmy talk. It was followed up with Christian, which I also feel like I didn't need. I didn't need that whole segment. I just didn't need it.
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that was missing from that segment was Sting getting interrupted and then walking out, but that
happened earlier?
already happened by that point.
Oh God, no. As I said in our run sheet meeting earlier today, I was like, oh dear God.
Yeah, the whole Lance Archer. Sorry, we had to hand the pup off. I started talking about the explanation that Omega gave, and she lost her mind. Ow, man, claws. Sorry, guys. Yeah, the Kenny Omega stuff to me, not great. And the Christian stuff, it was, again, it felt like you said very Stingish, where he just came out and like stood there. And I mean, yes, he did attempt the unprettier, but it was like we were going to hear from him, and then we didn't. I want to hear from him. Stop! You got to stop doing this stuff with me. Like, we're going to hear from this person, and then we don't hear from them. That's what I need. And Ken says, "Give me Moxley, Kingston bar hopping." And listen, we're in full. We did a full 180 here. Kingston no longer has Butcher and Blade with him. He's friends with Moxley. I think I'm very excited for this complete face turn for Eddie Kingston. I really hope we get a Kingston Omega match down the line. I think that would be a lot of fun. I don't even need Eddie to win that. I think it would be super cool and it would be different. But man, I mean,
I want to see him run through the tag team division, honestly. Like,
yes, dude.
Leave. We've been in this Moxley Kenny Omega thing for over a year. Let it go and let's move on, and let's see the tag team division. Let's see Moxley and Eddie Kingston run through the tag team division, man. Because I am sign me up. And are you bleeding? Are you okay?
I don't know, man. I'll check later, but holy hell, she was crawling up me. I got to get the hell out of here. But yeah, Moxley Kingston, they're going to face the former Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. They lost to Finn Juice last night, furthering the Forbidden Door, having a New Japan Tag Team win those titles. They're going to face the Good Brothers on Wednesday. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Also, I didn't realize that it was St. Patrick's Day, and they're like, let's have a Clash of the Champions type show. I love it. But overall, half the explanation was good. I'm trying to think of what would have made it better with Omega. I think him saying, I thought I wired this correctly, but you know what? Seeing those two make fools of themselves was so much better. I think that was all you need. Because clearly there was supposed to be an explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly. Are we good with Christian and Omega?
I feel like it's too soon. And honestly, this just reeked of when Christian debuted in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just very, very similar. Like, we know that he's a good world champion, or that he should be world champion, but to put him there right away I think it's too quick. And especially when he didn't even say anything. It's like he just did the standard, I'm here now, I'm going to hold the belt, and that means I'm going to challenge whoever's champion.
Neeson, do you think this would have been more powerful moment if Paul White had teased a signing, but we didn't get the announcement on Sunday and we got it on Wednesday instead? Like, as a surprise?
I think it would have been Christian should have been in Paul White's place, and Paul White should have been in Christian's place. Like, I understand that Christian is a potential Hall of Famer, but when you say a Hall of Fame worthy talent and you build that up, and then you have Christian not only come out and be silent, but you have him come out and just sign a contract and leave it in the middle of the ring, and this is supposed to be the featured thing of one of the featured things of the pay-per-view. that already set up. Plus the countdown thing, it just reminds me a lot of Jericho when he did one of his comebacks from, you know, his hiatus or stints.
Which one?
Exactly. And then like he came out and then he had like not say anything. And then remember he started like pumping up the crowd. He kept leaving and he started like doing the whole camera, like taking the camera, and then he'd just leave. And he did that for like weeks.
That was for CM Punk, right?
Right. It just reminds me a lot of that. Like you having a countdown of Christian Cage and you coming out and it's,
well, it's
I don't know.
Also, that's how his Tron started.
Right. Yeah, it's TNA. But it's just, it reminds me of a person that's in the company that you're with.
It should have never been done.
Coming from WWE. So and then you're going right to Kenny Omega. We had this conversation last week. They need to focus on the people that they have there. Right? Like I love what Hangman's doing right now with Dark Order because it gives them just another layer to his character, and he has these like ragtag goons with him, the Muppets. But why is he not sniffing at a title shot again? Why is he not trying to get at Omega? Why is it not? It's nothing near that. It's nobody that's AEW quote unquote homegrown that's sniffing a title shot. Nobody.
They're waiting for Omega to claim some more belts, so when Hangman beats him, it'll be that much bigger, I guess. So they have a megastar, the dude who beat the unbeatable.
I get it.
Do you think Hangman will kick out of One Winged Angel?
He has to.
Who was the last person who actually?
Coda.
Okay.
The only one. Coda's the only one. They've protected that move like it was the Dudley Death Drop.
Right.
Yeah, because what happened when he hit
Moxley with it, but Moxley didn't kick out. He put his foot on the rope.
Put his foot on the rope to blow it up, and they made it evident on it. He didn't kick out. He put his foot on the rope. It's like, all right, we get it.
That's a good spot. I love that.
Yeah.
That's a really good spot.
It's like, that's a good way to get out of it.
So a lot of stuff happened on AEW. Maki Ito just sang through everyone fighting, which was amazing. Absolutely love that. But was Christian announced for the Hall? I don't think he was. No.
I only remember Batista and Liger. That's the only ones I can remember off the top of my head.
JBL, Batista, Liger, and I forgot the person that passed. I forgot.
I wonder if Liger's going to make the trip over.
I mean, it's open now. Well, you could. Yeah. You could travel. Hopefully.
Yeah. But the biggest thing that happened was we and you knew it was big when it was the main event. Was MJ, the Inner Circle, having their little meeting? Sammy Guevara coming out and showing evidence that MJF was trying to take over the Inner Circle, which was actually a double cross because I do love that they're always like, MJF, do you think we're stupid? Like we watch the monitor, we talk to each other, we know what's going on. So they were going to beat up MJF, and MJF says, I never wanted to take over the Inner Circle. I was too busy creating my own. Lights go out. Sabu points to the sky, throws chairs at people. We have FTR, Tully Blanchard, Wardlow, and Sean Spears in the ring. And it's on. They just absolutely destroy the Inner Circle. The visual of Sammy Guevara's mouth open on the chair was good stuff. The bottle broken over, I believe it was Hager's head, was great. And we powerbomb Jericho off the stage here. Couple of things here. What do we think of this group? And do we think this is in turn, what do we think of the original Inner Circle? I'm sure we'll get a name for them this week, what MJF's new group is.
I'm calling him MJFTR.
The Pinnacle. Ken says the Pinnacle, if that's the name of their faction. Ken, did you hear that somewhere, or are you just guessing? Because the Pinnacle doesn't sound that bad.
No.
Do you think this is our blood and guts match for this year, our War Games match? And what do you think of original Inner Circle, I guess, being faces now?
See, I can only buy, really for now, I think the only good face would be Sammy. I don't see anyone else. Like, everyone else is so good as heels right now that I don't see them needing to switch, but I guess for the sake of this feud, sure. Especially when it comes to Hager, Ortiz, and Santana. I think those guys just do great work as heels. But yeah, I could see this as being the blood and guts / stadium stampede, whatever.
Oh yeah, they could do that. I know they want to do that blood and guts match. Like, they really, really want to do that. So I assume this is where we're headed with that. I don't know about Neeson. What do you think about original Inner Circle being? I guess they would be the faces in this. I don't know.
They'd have to be how that
is whose faces and whose heels in AEW. Does that really matter, guys?
I guess it doesn't matter.
We have this conversation all the time about AEW and their heel and face thing. They run that gray area very, very, very hard. I don't know, man, because the Inner Circle are great heels, and the other faction, the Pinnacle or the whatever they're called, they're great heels as well. Like, Sean Spears looks like a badass, honestly, standing next to them.
I love it. And we talked last week where we were like, I think we were talking about a 4 horseman group, which is so strange. And I said Sean Spears needs to be in this group because he needs something to do. And lo and behold, here he is in a group with something to do.
Looking nice.
I'm excited for him because last week we were also like, look, I don't want to hate him. I just want something for him.
Something for him. Yeah.
And this is definitely something for him. Yeah, I'm
no one wants that, Justin.
I'm pretty excited for the new group. I think it's interesting. I think it'll be cool to see what we're doing with it going forward.
Is the new group going to get cheered?
In front of crowds? No. I think so.
I don't think with MJF. I don't think so.
Like, people love MJF though. Yeah. Are people cheering? I feel like people are cheering MJF out of just pure respect.
Fair, yeah. But like, I think he can do that. He can do that Jericho thing where people cheer him out of pure respect, but then he'll find a way to make them boo him.
Oh, he'll definitely do that.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see what would you. Do you think Inner Circle's taking a break for like a month? You think they'll be gone for a little while?
Oh, do you think Jericho's going on a super spreader tour?
Maybe.
I mean, you got to make sure you have it on the boat for everyone else on the next cruise.
Yeah, right.
Well, he's probably vaccinated already.
Probably. We have one last thing to talk about, and this happened last night. Rich Swan defeated Moose to become the TNA and Impact World Heavyweight Champions. He has now merged those titles into one, and he will face Kenny Omega at Impact's Rebellion in a title for title match. Kenny Omega's winning this, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. We're basically going to be doing the whole Ultimo Dragon thing with Kenny at some point.
Oh yeah, this will be belt number 3, I believe. How do we feel about the Collector? I know we were excited a couple of months ago. Do we still feel the same way that we want to see Kenny Omega collect all these belts and just hold? Justin in the chat says it should have been Moose, and I'll tell you, I would have been down to see a Moose Kenny Omega match. I think that would have been interesting, but we're going Rich Swan Omega.
I just think it's funny that they literally decided to make the TNA championship like a recognized title right before this match happened. In order for it to be an actual title that's in contention. Because if it was just Moose versus Rich Swan for the Impact title, then the TNA title wouldn't have mattered because it wasn't recognized. It was just something for Moose's gimmick. But now that it's an actual title, it's like, oh well, we need more hardware So if we do this whole entire thing with Kenny, he has another belt.
Yeah. So you think that they'll do the thing they did with the WCW big gold belt and the WWF champion or WWE championship, where they're holding both of them for a while?
Yeah, this is going to be like the initial undisputed title thing for a little while.
I mean,
Just
Neeson.
for Kenny.
Neeson, Mike in the chat has a good question. That I mean, it's great if Kenny, gets this belt, but who beats Kenny Omega to get the belt back? He can't just hold it forever, can he?
So this is my issue with not building up people in your own company, right? Like Kenny could go and be the collector and collect all these titles. The only person I see actually beating him for something, it's not even in AEW, not even in Impact Wrestling. It's the big money match that people will actually tune in to see from all over the world.
Don't say it.
You know I'm going to say it. Him versus Kota Ibushi.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
What do you think?
I
was
like, please don't say CM Punk.
Oh no!
Oh God!
Oh no!
Because I will.
No. Him versus Kota Ibushi, Wrestle Kingdom. Period.
So you think that'll be? So okay, in that scenario, Kenny would be champion for the rest of this year.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
And then
it'd be whatever their first American NJPW strong style pay-per-view. Right? But I think it's either one or two. It's going to be Kota versus Omega when Omega has all those titles. Like that's what it's going to be. And so when we get so it's like we're feeding Christian like we fed every other newcomer that came into that company to go against the title. They're just going to get eat up by the champion. And then now on Impact, that's going to happen because he's just going to eat everybody up because there's nobody that they're really building. Like they're not building Bay. They're not building Josh Alexander. They're not building these people as monsters. And that's who Kenny is. You need a monster to take down a monster.
You need a god to take down a god. My goodness,
old gods are the new gods.
Kota Ibushi. So you think, man, that's a lot of moving pieces. Because then you got to get every booker on the. You got to get Gato on the. Well, Gato doesn't give a fuck as long as it's not Naito. He doesn't give a shit. Fucking asshole. So you think everybody will be on the same page and be like, look, we have to get back to Kota versus Omega at Wrestle Kingdom for the Impact title, the IWGP World Heavyweight title, the AEW World Championship,
the WWE.
Does that mean that Kota's keeping his belts as well?
I think Kota should hold the belt for. I mean, he unified them. He has one belt now. I think he should keep them for the rest of the year. I think at least.
Yeah, I think that's so. I don't. If it happens at Wrestle Kingdom, yes, there's going to be a lot of moving parts. But I honestly think that it's probably going to happen at more so at the first NJPW Strong taping or first pay-per-view. It's not going to be for all the titles. It's going to be for whatever said title. It's just that Omega losing that could start the chain reaction to him starting to lose things. And then how does that devalue him losing these belts? Whoever starts to get him, right? Because Kota Ibushi beat him. Cool. All right. So then who's going to beat him for the Impact title? Okay. Then by the time you get to the AEW title, it's like, yeah, you're beating a person that just lost these three. You know what I'm saying? So however
this sell an injury throughout.
However this plays out, however it plays out, is not going to play out good for the AEW champion person unless they do some real finagling somehow, some way. Like unless Kota wins the AEW championship.
This is really propping the Forbidden Door open for quite a while.
Oh yeah, yeah. Unless the Rainmaker comes in and beats him.
Dude, this year's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
In a good way, guys. In a good way, not like last year.
Yeah, we after as fans, I mean, yes, we're just talking about in the wrestling bubble. As fans, as to the professional wrestling, the sport, the great sport that we love so dearly, that we talk about it every Sundays at 7:00 Pacific, 10:00 Eastern. We deserve this year of wrestling. We last year was, like you said, yesterday was the first day SmackDown went to an empty in the PC.
Yes,
and it was tough. Well, actually, that show was great because Triple H was actually pretty great on commentary and like.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they were shooting. They were shooting like crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Hunter for THS wrote a really good article about it on that #show.com. Go check it out. It's a look back at the first pandemic show. Yeah, I remember. I mean, Triple H, just doing what it was. Triple H and Michael Cole, right?
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Nick in chat says, what about Jay White beating Omega, Old Bullet Club versus, and you know what? That's another wrinkle to everything. We know the Japanese Bullet Club does not like anything that is happening over in the States. So that could be another wrinkle to what is going on with the open door. That could be another blood and guts match. Holy hell. What would you do? Would you do Omega, Young Bucks, Good Brothers versus Jay White? Who else would it have to be? It'd have to be Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa.
Yeah,
they have to be in it. I'd put
Fale.
I'd put Fale has to be in it just because he is the original member.
And maybe Yujiro only because he was part of it when they were.
Maybe.
I know who I put it in it. CM Punk.
Shut up. Shut up. I don't say that to you ever, Neeson, but shut your mouth.
I got a list of people now. I'm just gonna start mentioning just to get on Pingo.
I know who I'd put in them. No, do you know what should be Monday night on Raw? Charlotte should say, I want to go to AEW and win all the titles. And then it'll happen.
And then she just shows up and does a Cody Rhodes entrance on AEW. Because
somehow she's already the NWA Women's Champion. I don't know how that happened.
And
that would be great.
And then she walks on to AEW and says, Cody, your daughter doesn't have a father. And then it's just
I have one thing that we didn't put on the docket, and I would just like to get your thoughts on it. What do we think about the Andrade rumors? About him asking for his release?
I mean, do you blame him?
I do not blame him.
Him and Aleister Black and Garza, what happened to these guys? These guys were all built up last summer, and all of a sudden now you're not doing anything with them. Literally nothing.
I don't know. Neeson, do you think they'll grant him his release? Because he is engaged to Charlotte Flair, and if you get rid of Charlotte Flair's fiance,
don't walk out like Jerry Lawler did. I don't know. Hot take. They need to stay where they're at. I think. Look, I'm not in their shoes, so it's hard for me to really comment on it. But just my opinion, looking in, it's a thing of WWE only has a certain amount of time allowed to allow people on television. They didn't know what to really do with Aleister back and give him a compelling storyline in the first place, right? So if they have nothing for you right now, and we don't know if he's in the back pitching stuff, we don't know how it's coming up with blah 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 blah. But one thing they are lacking, they're lacking heels. They're lacking somebody that could actually prop up a baby face and lose. That's why, but we're seeing it with Apollo Crews going against Big E, and hopefully Big E wins, but that'll allow another heel. They have not focused on their Latin division or people or demographic since the pandemic hit. And I think that was really killed Alberto. That's what really killed Garza, and that's what really killed Andrade. Garza is a special case because Garza actually has a gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
What killed Andrade was Zelina not being there with him anymore. Zelina's not there. He can't touch. He doesn't have a mouthpiece. And yes, we all be like, yeah, but he can wrestle and he could, just let him talk in like Asuka could talk in Japanese. But we got to understand, Vince allowed that to happen because it became a character at first. She was basically a cartoon character talking in Japanese. So it didn't matter what she said. It was cartoony to him. And no disrespect by it, but that's how American are able to connect to it if they don't understand it. Yeah, you can run subtitles, like we said, just run subtitles under it. It'll be funny or it'll be great. Like it'll be something new. But that's not what Americans are on television. That's not what you're getting on network television.
Do you think exactly? But so that Justin says they denied his request. We haven't seen like any of these Latin American stars in a while. Do you think that we put them all together and we get a Ingobernables like stable?
I think that's the best way to do it. And if you want to do that, once you put them together with Aleister Black as their mouthpiece, because Aleister Black could talk, right? Like you put them together with a mouthpiece, because the thing about Vince, and we all know it is a company with it only matters about one man's opinion, is you have to be able to connect to the audience. And as much as we're talking about this, we're not the audience.
No.
Like it's the kids. It's the kids that are the audience. And if the kids don't understand it, you have to make it a cartoon, or you have to make the body language speak the language, not the actual word. So if they could put them together in some type of group like that and have a mouthpiece that could make it bigger, absolutely. Because it was rumors that Charlotte Flair and Albert and they were trying to figure out how to put Charlotte and Andrade on screen together. Right? Like that's because like, shit, you like who else is gonna talk for Andrade?
I feel like, yeah.
So when they say leave, is like, should they ask for their release? I think yes. If they feel uncomfortable in their workplace and they want to go out and do more and just wrestle, absolutely ask for your release. But I say stay, and I say try to figure it out, because once you do, somebody's gonna get injured. It's gonna be a spot that opens up, and all those dudes are fucking talented.
I would love to see an LIJ in or I guess original Los Ingobernables in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have one in literally, I think, every other a couple of other promotions. I know ROH has one. We have the one in are
they still a promotion?
Yeah, they're still a promotion.
Yeah.
Roosh is their world champion. He is the leader of that. Yeah.
And he's got his own stable, so it's basically LIJ.
Yeah, it's basic. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's pretty much Los Ingobernables. But
just put them all on 205 Live and call it a day, man.
Why not? And we're gonna call it a day right now. Nailed it. Jimmy, you got anything to plug, my friend?
No, nothing this week. I guess just follow my other show at Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. It's at MMM Show 75, and you can follow my social right here. And that's pretty much all I got.
Neeson?
Make sure you guys are following me at my social below here, and in a session that is INASESSION. We just finished our last bunch of tapings last night, so that's why my brain doesn't work, because it was crazy. It was a long day.
And for me, until I can figure out how to keep Camilla in my lap while recording a podcast, TTR is on hold. Just follow me on JP Thrice on Instagram and the Twitter. And that's it for us this week.
Wait, guys, follow on Twitch, please, because you gotta follow, because I'm streaming. I'm a streamer. and I'm a streamer now. I stream. I do the stream things.
You know what? Neeson, you have something else to plug, and I can't believe I completely forgot about this.
I do.
You did an amazing interview this week.
I did.
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
With Chris, with your friend, your close personal friend.
I forgot.
I forgot too, and then I went, oh, and then Neeson completely forgot.
Chris, so Chris Van Vliet. Guys, you always know, if you're watching this show, you know who Chris Van Vliet is. We had a great conversation. Felt like just two dudes just talking.
It is amazing. It was fantastic.
It was just two dudes talking, like broing out. And we had a great conversation. So please go up to that hashtag show TV. YouTube.com/that hashtag show TV to check it out. Yeah, please, man, watch it. It was fun, and he's a great guy. And
oh my God,
I can't wait till we meet up and have pancakes together, because we talked
at the griddle. Can I come?
You can, and it won't be at the griddle. We're gonna go to BB's in Burbank.
Hold on, BB.
I'm still new, so I have not heard of BB's until right now.
BB's, CC's, guys, hit me up. I will plug you to all the spots in LA where you can get some great food. All right, so that's it for us this week. Make sure you check out facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, Instagram.com/THS.Wrestling, YouTube.com/that hashtag show TV, Twitch.tv/that hashtag show. Go check it out, guys. But most importantly, that hashtag show.com for everything trending in geek pop culture. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye. Oh, and one more thing.
For the boss, the blueprint, the standard, the GOAT, the queen of the cell, the draw, the DDT, and Boba Fett Mandalorian, Sasha Banks.